Peace, 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 and love, family. Oh man. Hey, listen, welcome to another edition of Talk with the Titans. I'm gonna make this go real quickly, okay? Of course, you already know that I've been threatened. Been threatened all the time, like to be honest with you, of this Jahil jihadis. But I want to just play a few things for you guys, yeah, so for you to guys to actually understand the severity of the threats, the severity of the problem, the severity of the issue of these fundamentalists, these retardists, jihadists. Yeah, let me just show you something. All right, so first of all, for those of you guys that don't know that I was threatened today, here we go. I'm just gonna show you guys the little trigger words that they play around with, right? So just quickly watch this and listen to this real quick.
This individual Kalam, he's an enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's an enemy of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's an enemy of the believers. So he's to be treated as such.
Okay, so those of you guys, we've done several shows before about the enemies of Allah, enemies of the Prophet, enemies of the believers, right? If somebody is your enemy, that means, you know, they are a combatant, meaning they are free. Their blood is, how can I put it, permissible. All right, their blood is halal, right? We can show you several hadiths that kind of surmises this, okay? Surmises this quite clearly. So we don't even need to sugarcoat it. We know what they're talking about. We know how they're doing these dry threats, right? We know they're doing dry threats, and I'll show you a little bit more. So, you know, and just listen to the more of the dry threats. Listen to this quickly.
And you know that there are individuals from amongst us who say that they are Muslims. I'm not saying him is not Muslim, but there are individuals from amongst us who say that they are Muslims. If they heard what you said and they was to take it to heart, like some of them do, you know that from amongst us there are individuals who would refer to themselves, or the media refer to them as suicide bombers or suicide killers. Kalam, you don't have no sense. Imagine one of those suicide killers, one of those suicide bombers heard what you just said and took it to heart and rolled upon you at Speaker's Corner and fly your skull, push back your brains. Imagine. So you speaking all of this.
Fly your skull, push back your brains. Just think of it. Yeah, just think of it. Fly your skull means your head is being, you know, is being removed from your shoulders. You know the head and shoulders one? You're being decapitated. Your head is moving from your shoulders. Your brains is being, pummeled in and under. Just imagine the visuals that this individual is trying to paint. Dawah over everything. Interested. These converts.
Knowing that there are individuals who are capable, who may take from the Quran certain ayats and certain verses, or from the hadith, certain statements of the Messenger of Allah, and take them literally without understanding them, and take it to heart and roll upon you at Speaker's Corner or wherever you're there and fly your skull, dog. Huh? That's why I know that you're a fool, because there are individuals like that. I can't deny it. I ain't gonna deny it. We have to speak.
Thank you for not denying it. Thank you for speaking the truth, even if it's against yourself. Thank you. You're actually highlighting the problem that we're discussing. You're highlighting the problem that we're drawing people's attention towards, right? Most people are not even aware of the psychotic nature of people like you and others who may be your minions or maybe your comrades, right? And we're highlighting this. Let's get it.
It's true. Even if it's against ourselves, there are individuals who would have heard what you have said and taken it upon themselves by defending the Messenger of Allah, the Messenger of Allah's honor, and fly your wig, push back your brains. Then you would have got your likes and your views. The only thing,
my friend Abby, we don't do these things for likes and views, B. Like, you must really think our life is so cheap that we're going to be doing things for likes and views. Like, can we take the likes to the bank? Can we take the views and give it to our children or something like that? I don't know. Are you gone crazed? Are you mad? Right? We're refusing to live on our knees, even if it's going to cost us our life to stand up firm, G. That's what you don't understand, right? We're not shook like you guys who convert to this nonsense and submit yourself to this nonsense and humble yourselves in servitude, no, in slavery to this nonsense. We're not slaves. We're free men and women. You cannot intimidate us into submission. It won't happen. God damn.
Is you would not be here to celebrate its glory because you're dead. No, this is not a threat. Abu Layla Abdul Malik al-Jamaica is not threatening Kalam.
Really? You could have surprised me. Let's show you that you are threatening Kalam. Let me just show you how you are threatening Kalam. Right? Let's just quickly look at this. Look at this. Look, Dawah over everything. This is his response. Okay. If this is the person, right? Look, thank you for making this video. Smiley face 5 hours ago. You're welcome. Acid soon reach you. Best believe that, inshallah. No. You lot are not seeing this. You lot are not seeing this. MI5, you lot are not seeing this. You know, police, you lot are not seeing this. I don't think you lot are seeing this, right? You're welcome. Acid. We're going on like we don't know what acid is, right? We do know what acid is, right? We do understand what's been going on in Asian countries, right? We do understand what's been happening in the streets of East London and other places, right? Where people are dashing acid at people's faces, right? All right. Acid soon reach you, yeah? All right, cool. Best believe that. All right. And inshallah, in the name of your God, you want acid to reach my face. Okay, but you're not threatening me though. All right, alhamdulillah. All right, you're not threatening me. All right. Allahu alam. Only Allah knows what threat is. Let's continue.
Abu Layla Abdul Malik.
Thank you for telling us your name, Abu Layla Abdul Malik al-Jamaica.
Al-Jamaica is not, I repeat, is not threatening Kalam. I am just pointing out to you that you are a fool. Why? Because there are individuals who would want to defend the Messenger of Allah's honor. And you know that they refer to themselves, or the media refer to them as, and we know there are such individuals who refer to themselves as suicide bombers, jihadis, ISIS. These are the terminologies we're going to use. I'm just repeating them.
Yep, good, thank you. Yeah, we're completely aware, thank you. We're completely aware. We're 100% aware. And let me just further how much we are aware of these threats, okay? For some of you guys, you may not know what's been going on today. Let me just make you guys aware of what's been going on today, okay? Let's just do that. Here we go. Breaking news. Thanks to Takia Watch, right? Thank you, Takia Watch. You bust, man, still. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more.
Non, maman. Putain. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Right now, you're seeing bodies.
At one stage, this looked like this incident might have been concluded, but it now looks as though it is an ongoing.
So right now, Strasbourg. This was 9:30 Strasbourg French time, 8:26 UK time. Okay, 8:26. Not so long ago.
Incident.
Okay, so let's just do this quickly so you lot can actually see what's been going on, because I know we've been online or we might not be aware of the terrorist attacks that's been currently taking place. Telegraph. Is it a Telegraph? And I think this is the one that I read before, but it says here at least 2 dead. Okay, several people injured. Over it, I think it's 11 people have been injured. Right, 11 people have been injured. Let's quickly see something here. For those of you guys who don't know. However, 4 radicalized men were arrested at the start of the revolt in early November. Okay, no, this ain't the one. Let's quickly get to it. Independent terrorist attacks, Strasbourg. Where is Strasbourg? Let's go, France. Yeah, let's see what's been going on. Let's actually see what's been going on. Yeah, why is it not coming up on my one? I was on my phone earlier on and it came up straight away. But anyways, deadly France shooting. All right, this is it right here. Open fire around 7 p.m. Okay. Oh, we can't even get the full stuff. I don't know. Look at this. Shooting of France, largest Christmas market, left 4 dead and 10 wounded Tuesday in what is now being investigated as a terror attack. Let me get my phone so I can read this thing out properly to you guys. All right. Let me read this thing out properly. Let me get this thing here. Strasbourg shooting. Yeah. Let's quickly see what people are actually saying on the ground. How they're witnessing somebody being shot in the head. Yeah. You're talking about blowing your wig back, right? Let's go into that. Let's actually go into that. Telegraph. It is actually the Telegraph. My bad. Sorry about that, family. Let's just get that up again. Let's get that up. Let's read what's taking place. Okay. Some of you guys might not know. Suspect terrorist was on the run last night after killing at least 2 people and injuring 12 in the eastern French city of Strasbourg in Christmas market. In the Christmas market, you know. And this ain't the first terrorist attack that's happened or been plotted at the Strasbourg Christmas market. Just putting it out there. Shots were reportedly exchanged in a street of the southern district. Right? Let me keep on going. French authorities are treating the shooting as a terrorist attack after identifying the gunman named Sharif C. Wow. He wasn't identified earlier on, but now he has. Okay, Sharif. Man, like Sharif, you know? Okay. A radicalized 29-year-old from the city on a S security and terror watch list, thanks to CCTV. Anti-terrorist prosecutors have opened an investigation. Hmm. These people who are on the watch list, you know, these people who are on the watch list, these radicals, if they're not on the watch list already, god damn, put them on the watch list. Yeah. What's this? Questions were being raised last night over how the assailant had managed to evade capture yesterday morning. Police were due to arrest him over a botched armed robbery, but he had escaped and grenades were found at his home. All right, let me continue. Hours later, shortly before 8 p.m., the assailant went on the rampage in Strasbourg city center in the bustling Ruse des Orfèvres, armed with an armed pistol and knife. Goddamn. 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 And we know how easy it is to pick up a knife nowadays. We know how easy it is to acquire a gun nowadays. Anyways, let me continue. All right. Theresa May shocked and saddened. Listen to this. A local man named Philippe, told Europe One Radio, I saw a person on the ground unconscious and bleeding. There was another person on the ground just behind, one or two more a bit further along. All right. One eyewitness said, who tried unsuccessfully to resuscitate a Thai tourist, shot by the gunman, said, I thought it was just firecrackers, but it turned out to be actual gunshots. I saw one person lying there, a tourist from Thailand, accompanied by his wife or girlfriend, was unhurt. We tried resuscitation efforts for 45 minutes. We dragged him into a restaurant close by, and we tried our best to bring him back to life with CPR, but it seemed that was futile. Hmm. Hmm. This is deep. This is actually deep. Very, very deep. When you guys got the chance, please go and check this out. On the S watch list. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. Anyways, if you lot don't want to tackle the actual threat of radicalization in our countries, then just be prepared. That's what I'm going to say. Just be prepared for more of these attacks. Because these people are so brazen. So brazen. Look at this. Look at this. Here it is. This is what I wanted to show you actually. A student, Glenn Esole, says she has sought refuge with other people in a library. We do not know how long we'll have to stay here. We're hoping it won't be all night. We really hope it will be over soon, but we don't have any information. A waiter from a restaurant near the scene of the shooting described on BMF TV how staff and customers tried to save a man who stepped outside. A man who stepped outside and was shot in the head. We used napkins to try to stem the blood, he said. He said the man had died. Fly your skull and push back your wig and mash down your brain and all that talk there, yeah? All right. We are witnessing it. There is video footage of these shootings. There is video shootings of the rampage. There are the terrorist attacker is out right now on the run with his radicalized self. And these are the things, and these are the people that you're in support of. These are the people that you're in support of. If you're not against things like this, if you're not part of the solution, you're simply part of the problem. If you want to be posting all of these crazy videos calling people the enemies of Allah and enemies of the prophet, and you know what should be done to these people and so forth, guess what? You're actually promoting this. For those of you guys who don't even see the severity of the things that they're posting, you're part of the problem. It's only until it happens to you that you're truly going to understand. You're part of the problem. If you don't want to educate yourself about Islam, then you're going to be part of the problem. And don't get me twisted, right? And don't get me wrong. Islam is not the problem. A lot of people would like to push the idea that Islam is the problem. A lot of people may want to push that idea that is the cause of all of this. I'm not going to lie to you. You do have a fair case, i.e., because, it's coming from one place. I hear you. But it's much more nuanced than that. Because you'll find out that the majority of these attacks is coming from one specific sect or one specific overarching ideology. Okay? That's been funded quite heavily, right? And it's targeting young men. It's targeting specifically these young men who are disenfranchised, who aren't well off and who aren't well educated at all. It's targeting these individuals and turning them, radicalizing them into these killing machines. Most of these individuals are already psychotic. Most of these individuals are already suffering from a mental illness. Most of them, guaranteed. Whether it's schizophrenia, whether it's depression, whatever the case is, right? They already have, how can I put it, suicidal tendencies. It's already there. Don't get it twisted. It's already there. But this ideology on top, oh my God. Oh my God. You have now got an army in wait. You have an army in waiting, literally in the UK. You see how you have these young black boys and young other boys, urban community, right? Who are out there wielding knives, right? We've seen this, right? We've seen this on the YouTubes. We've seen this on the Instagrams. We've seen this on the Twitters, right? All over the news even. It's even reached the news. Even in Croydon here, Croydon, it's reached the news. You've seen them like wielding these mad long knives. They're not afraid of death. Plenty of them have been stabbed before. Plenty of them. Trust me on this. Plenty of them. I've got friends. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've got plenty of friends that have been stabbed before, shot before, or have done the stabbing or shooting before. I've got plenty of friends that are converted to Islam. I've got plenty of friends that have been radicalized. I've got plenty of friends, have told me about their friends who've also flown out to places like Syria and so forth to fight. This for me, this ain't new to me. This is something I live, I see, right? I've seen this. I've seen little, boys being groomed by these brood of vipers in hopes for them to go out and do some of these heinous acts. I've seen it with my own two eyes. This is nothing new to me. So all of your bad man threats, right? Like, it's nothing new to me. Been there, done that, seen it. You dig? And that's why I'm speaking so openly about these things and so hard body about these things. Because that could be my little nephew, my little cousin, and so forth, who could be riding out right now to go and decapitate a man. This could be my little brothers, cousins, nephews, right? Family friends that's rolling out with guns in the name of who? In the name of your sheikh, more like it, not in the name of Allah. You're not doing this in the name of Allah. You're not dashing acid in people's faces in the name of Allah. No, you're doing this in the name of your sheikh. Yeah? Who's living comfortably, who's living fat, and just sending out their minions. You're a foot soldier. You are a foot soldier, B, in the hopes that you're going to make it into Jannah. And because you die as a shaheed, you will be awarded 72 virgins. The ambitions of some of our young men nowadays. God damn. But anyways, let me actually see what the family is saying. And talk to me, family. Talk to me. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the link. I'm not going to spend too much time on here. Like I literally, arose from my slumber. And my household is actually sleeping. So I don't want to cause too much noise. I bring you guys in. If you're enjoying the show so far, please share. Hit up the like button, right? Show us the love. If you want to get my attention, simply hit us up with a super chat. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to appear for us. Hit us up with a, Titans TV tag. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to appear for us. And then, I will answer any of your questions or read out any of your statements. That's simple. All right. So I'm going back. Kalam, think about it. Just right after this whole aspect. Anyways, let me actually see what the family is saying. Talk to me about it. Let's see. Who else is on there? Kalam, extremists in mainland Europe, much more quick to use violence, much more extreme indeed. Just quickly reading through some of your comments. So if you're hitting us up with comments or super chats, I'm going to read them out real quickly before I continue anything else. What did I miss? You missed a lot, Red Nose. Let's quickly go through. Romy Tobinson says, so what radicalized them? Was it Buddhism? Well, quite clearly we know. We quite clearly know what it is, right? We can blame it on Islam, but Islam is such a broad thing, right? We can, like, for example, we can say Christianity, but it's quite a broad thing. Like all religions, all cultures, all these things are broad things. You've got mad feedback, Kelly. I'm just muting your mic out whilst I'm talking, because mad feedback. Clearly, we know that it's a certain form of Islam that is radicalizing these people, right? A certain form of Islam is radicalizing them. No, Kalam, they're trying to get all that out of chaos, and that's what they always do. Okay, let's quickly see, where is Zachariah? He fits those descriptions. I'll keep my mouth quiet on that one. All right, let's quickly see who else we got up here. It says here, Sophia Films, has Muhammad ever reprimanded his Sahaba who went the excess? I am not sure what this is about, but I send protection energy to you, my brother. Love, Queen, love, Angela Manag, love to you. Salam, brother Kalam, do you think the Sunni Salafi mentality? All right, point taken, but still, I hear you. All right, okay, Kalam, do you know about Marrakesh deal that was signed in December the 10th? I think so, all right? I think so. What's good, man? Like rich kid up in the building. So yeah, link has been sent out. So any of you guys who would like to come in, you are definitely welcomed.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Kellyanne.
Yeah, what happened, man? I've been missing out, probably.
Yeah, you missed out, but you missed out. So earlier on was talking on the show about certain individuals that are quick to call myself and other people at Speaker's Corner, right, enemies of Allah and so forth, right? And we already know, because I've done shows on this, about the enemy of Allah. These are code words and phrases for most people. Most people don't understand these code words and phrases, but we do, because we understand, we learn, we are well read in these things here. And we've got them sly you know, doing dry threats. Okay, dry threats, talking about, you know, there's other people, jihadis, you know, whatever the case is, right? Terrorists, ISIS, yeah, that will lick off your head and do this to you and do that to you. But I'm not threatening you. But at the bottom of your whole video, that you're not threatening me, and I'm laying a comment down, you're telling me that acid soon reach me.
Yeah, be safe, brother. Just watch yourself.
I hear you. But these threats have been going on for over, like, you know, about 2 years now. These threats have been taking place over 2 years. All right. And we've been going Speaker's Corner over 2 years, one man up every single time. And the reason why we do that, right, is to show that, like, bro, none of you lot can scare us, right? None of you lot can scare us. I'll be real with you. Okay. Like, people fail to forget or fail to realize that we all come, like, we all, like, I'm black. I'm black. Just put it out there, right? I may sound sweet and smooth and articulate and so forth, right? But we all grew up in the hood, like, you know, like, I'm like literally a first generation immigrant, so to speak. First generation immigrant. I came to this country, you know, when I was like 6 years old, like, you know, single mother out here in the UK, right? Like, growing up, I grew up on the streets. Don't ever get that ish twisted. Mother working 2-3 jobs, yeah, to keep us, you know, under a roof, like, we grew up on the streets, like, gunshots flying off, right? Knives and so forth, right? It's nothing new to us. Like, we've grown up in that environment where we've grown accustomed to death so much because all of our friends, not all of our friends, but a lot of our friends have been either stabbed or shot, kidnapped, murdered, all sorts been going on, right? It's nothing new to us. We've had, you know, like myself, I've had knives put to my throat. You get me? Stabbed a couple of times, no problem. Shots firing off at me, no problem. Like, all of this stuff is nothing new. There's nothing that these individuals can say to scare us. We live this for real, B. Like, you lot are just there, like, typing away, right? And some of you guys are Asians that have grown up so nice away from that. And we have to give thanks and praise to your parents, give thanks and praise to your God, right? That you never had to grow up in such an environment, right? You grew up nice. Others of us, we never grew up that nice, right? So, like, stop with your keyboard warrior nonsense, right? And then show your face. If you're such a bad man, show your face. Show your face. That's what I'm going to say to you guys. Show your face. Are you not always hiding? Come on.
So,
Yeah.
do you think I was from my too loud?
Sorry?
From my too loud?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Do you think it has anything to happen? For example, what happened right after what happened between Respect and Saida? Maybe might be a conspiracy though.
Nah. I don't think those things are related in that respect, right? And I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the terrorist attack. I don't terrorist attack that's happened in France, Strasbourg. That's got nothing to happen with Saida and so forth, right? But in terms of, like, you know, things that are currently happening, you could surmise that, I guess, because of course they're now doing exposure videos on people in gangs such as Jedi. They're doing exposure videos on Respect, you know, and then you got these videos coming out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, man. Those are on the micro level, right? Those are on the micro level, but it's like they are part of the whole. I think they might be part of the whole picture as well, you know.
Yeah. Like, so you got this, you know, this individual that been showing this you know, Jamaican man, you know, Arabized Jamaican convert, right? Most probably. I've seen he's made a few videos on Saeed and Respect and so forth. So you got people that are just twisted, that are there, you know, they're still enslaved mentally. And it's like, oh my God. But anyways, let me jump off that real quickly because I want to have some fun. James, what's good? Nope. All right.
Wait. Sorry. Here I am. Sorry about that.
Yeah, buddy. So do you think to call it an Islamic terrorist attack? No, it's not wrong to call it an Islamic terrorist attack. Personally, I don't actually think it's wrong to call it an Islamic terrorist attack. I do think that we can be more specific, right, in identifying the problem. Right. So, for example, you know that you had the whole grooming gangs and so forth, right? They could have simply said grooming gang, but it's not specific enough. They could have said Asian grooming gangs, but even that is not specific enough, because what do you mean Asian? Do you mean, you know, Chinese? Do you mean Philippines? Like who are you talking about? So they say South Asian. All right, cool. But then now you got like Hindus, you got Sikhs, you got Muslims. Who are you speaking about? And they say, you know, South Asian Muslim grooming gangs. You're like, oh, okay, you've now identified it properly for us. We can see in this community there is a problem. All right, cool, I'm with you. So it's the same thing with, you know, all these terrorist attacks that's taking place. You know, it's easy to say Islam, but let's just narrow it down on who are we talking about. Are we talking about, let's say, for example, the Nation of Islam? Are they doing these terrorist attacks? No. Are we talking about the Qadiriyanis? I mean, i.e., the Ahmadiyas that's doing these terrorist attacks? No. Are we talking about the Quranists that are doing these terrorist attacks? No. Are we talking about the Shias that are doing these terrorist attacks? No. Are we talking about the Ibadis that are doing these terrorist attacks? No. Are we talking about the Baha'i? I don't even know if Baha'i is part of Islamic again. But yeah, are we talking about all these individuals? No. We're speaking about a specific group, then a specific subgroup and subsect in that, right? All right, cool. Say nothing. That's what I mean. There is quite nuance, but we can just paint as how you feel. Like, paint as how you feel. James, go ahead, King.
Hey, yeah, I just watched your intro that you were giving, and there was one comment you made about how kind of most of these suicide bombers will have a kind of mental condition as well, and I think that's definitely true. But it's important not to kind of overstate that, because kind of there have definitely been sort of people who have become indoctrinated with these beliefs, and when psychiatrists kind of talk to them, like people who almost did a suicide bombing but were maybe caught before, that sort of thing, like when these psychiatrists actually evaluated them, they found that they didn't have any kind of mental illness or mental health problems, but were sort of acting in a way that was rational for their premises that they had been indoctrinated with, this kind of cult-like behavior. And so, for example, one of these people kind of phoned Majid Nawaz on his LBC radio show, and I know maybe you can kind of sort of post the link, or I can't post the link in the chat because like links aren't allowed, but I posted this in the back chat on the Google group here. But it's a really interesting story, because it kind of he just explains how, you know, given that kind of, you know, they're told and like brought up to believe that, like, you know, if you die in a Muslim terrorist attack, you're definitely going to go to hell. And they're also taught that things like, oh, if you miss any of your 5 prayers, then you'll have to spend some time in hell, and hell is like having your entire skin burnt alive. And so if you really kind of actually believe these things, then it becomes kind of rational for you to do something like commit a suicide attack or kill yourself before you reach the age of 15, and you're considered responsible for your actions. So like there's definitely 2 sides of it that need to be stated. And so yeah, a lot of them will have mental illness, but a lot of them are simply kind of they're normal people who have been brainwashed to do evil things as a result of their religious teaching.
I'm with you. I'm with you. A lot of them are. You're right. You're right. Let me quickly just give a quick shout out to Angela Minogue, who's hit us up with the super chat. She says here, the truth will always out, right? Or come out. That's why I love the spirit of Kalam's heart. Ooh-wee. Salute to you, Queen. Love. So yeah, you're right. Some of these individuals are made, right? Made, and some of these individuals are simply deranged. Okay, so yeah, you know, you are literally indoctrinating someone with with a very ill, what's the opposite of medicine? Poisonous doctrine, of course. And that poisonous doctrine is going to make you act as somebody who is mentally unhinged. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. Some people are literally afraid of missing that salat. All right. Some people are literally afraid to shake that woman's hand. That somebody is literally, you know, believes that they want to die as a martyr. That's it. And you know why they want to die as a martyr? Because they want to have a garden. Some of you guys here have got hay fever, but you want to have an eternal garden.
Oh, also the other thing, Callum, is that when you were talking earlier about how kind of you get these sort of subtle threats, or like, oh, it's not actually a threat, but that's what they're doing is almost like the exact same as the mafia would do, is where they kind of like they'll send like a guy saying, oh, you've got a nice place here. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying I'm going to do anything bad to it, but it's best if you kind of start changing your behavior in these ways and maybe kind of do these things, or else some bad person out there might do something bad to it. It's like kind of you're benefiting from this threat of violence, just like kind of a mafia would like send a kind of sweet guy to the shop, and then later they'll send some thugs. It's it's complicit if you're going to benefit off someone else's violence to kind of achieve your agenda. It's really slimy and shitty.
100%, very, very much so. I'm just watching some of these comments here, right? A lot of people are saying false flag attack, Strasbourg fake, all these things here, right? I'm like, okay. Like a lot of the times when these terrorist attacks are taking place, everybody is screaming fake. I wonder how many of you guys, right, know somebody or were affected by any of these terrorist attacks. If you're from the UK, this happened in the UK. If you're in France, this happened in France. If you're in America and so forth, like, let me know if you've been affected by these things, right? And if you don't know somebody, then I suggest you speak to somebody. And I want you to see how offensive it is, right? When you tell somebody that their loved one was killed based that they weren't killed, or it's fake or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going through some people's heads. Like, how did you, like, even I'm not even brazen enough, right, to say such and such, because I don't have all the information. I'm just giving you information according to the Telegraph. This is what they're saying. This is what the police is saying. I don't know. I don't have all the information, but somehow you guys do have all of the information, right? I didn't even know the terrorist attack like 10 minutes before the actual, before this actual show, because they said, they've got the date of birth, but they're not giving out the person's address. Sorry, giving out the person's name. Then all of a sudden, Sharif is there, according to the Telegraph. I don't know how you lot have all this information beforehand. Maybe you might know. You might be connected with the supposed terrorists, or you may be connected with the Central Intelligence Agencies. What am I saying CIA for? Right? The European intelligence agencies. Right? You lot might be connected. That's how you guys know. Or are you just saying things based upon conjecture? Anyways. All right, Kalam, we know they are real radicals, but they might have been hired by the security forces to commit a false flag op. You're missing part of this. Okay, so I doubt, okay, any jihadi, radicalized jihadi would ever willingly employ themselves or be in the employ of the enemy like that. Like, trust me, real jihadis, that's not how they're thinking or moving. Right? They don't want to be used by these people, right? They want to massacre and kill these people. That's not they're not thinking that. All right. I will understand if you mean that these agencies, right, may do little sly things here and there, right, that will inevitably cause or be the catalyst for other things to happen. I understand that. If you want to say that they're working game and brain, I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, because even just speaking to certain people that I know are that way inclined already, right? And if you have got a psychological degree, and you can kind of diagnose certain people that have certain mental illnesses, and you can predict their actions, then if you rub them this way, you take away this friend, arrest this friend, you do this, you drop little things here and there, and maybe, I don't know, haul them in on some terrorist thing, their next move might be, well, I don't have much to live for. I don't have much to live for. I might as well, get my paradise. I might as well get my virgins. If you want to say something like that, I'm with you. I can get down with that. But to say that they were actually employed, I don't know, man. No, that's too much paperwork. That's too much paperwork. All right, let me get my good brother, my saber, rich kid in the building. I see he's got some power moves to drop on us right about now. Sugar, man, went straight to Hypatia of Alexandria.
Yes, big up man like Kalam. I kind of just on what the conversation was, but we know I don't need to read this to you, Kalam, because I know you know, but just for the audience. Fables should be taught as fables, myths as myths, and miracles as poetic fantasies. To teach superstition as truth is a most terrible thing. The child mind accepts them and believes them, and all through great pain and perhaps tragedy, can he be, in after years, relieved of them. So we know that when Kalam is dissecting information, we know that it hurts because you've been brought up with these beliefs. But all you need to do is bring your information and challenge what Kalam is putting out, or myself is putting out. But when you're going to start threatening people, that's a whole different story. And last night on the after show, we was talking to a few people, even the first lady was in there. And I was mentioning these things when I was saying there's going to be a time where Kalam and Gabs, Sarah, Gary have to stop going to Hyde Park, because when they spit the truth and people can't answer them, the only thing they're left with is violence. All philosophers go through that. But one thing I can say, we're not going to stop. So you might as well give up.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I love that. I absolutely love that. My brother, right there, rich kid. Yeah? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, hold on, family. So if you guys would like to come in, right? I see a lot of you guys may want the link and so forth. Right, so I'm going to send out the link to you guys. I do actually want to close down the show, but I want to read out all of your comments for those of you guys who are tagging Titans TV, and also for those of you guys who are also hitting up on the super chats. I want to make sure that I get all of your stuff out there. I don't want this to be a long video. We've already hit the 41-minute mark. Wow, time flies. So we're going to continue this off air. Truth be told, what's the link to this article? So the link to the article is, hold on, give me a second. I will send it to you momentarily. All right, it's right here, and the link to Kia Watch, right, who was the first person who actually bust me on this, right? When I say bust me on this, he was the first person to bring this to my awareness or my attention. All right, is over here as well. So that's all the links you may need in terms of the terrorist attacks, what's happened and what I've shown so far. So it's all inside of the comment section. My love. Yeah. All right. We've got COE up in the building as well. Shout out to you. That's the king right there. General, does Muhammad's silence in matters of his Sahaba acting the excess make him complicit? Like, a lot of times we put things on Muhammad and so forth, right? And I'm going to say to you, right, most of this stuff is written in the hadiths, okay? Hadiths generally came like 100+ years after the lifetime existencing of Muhammad. And what has tend to happen is people have created or fabricated stories, right? You can just, all you have to do is like go to Bukhari, like, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder, you know, you got people that they've openly said, like, they were fabricating hadiths. They were fabricating hadiths, okay? So most of this stuff is things that are possibly fabricated, right? And we're going to say, yeah, Muhammad, you know, said do this and do that. But the reality is, more time than none, it wasn't actually Muhammad that's saying these things. It's just people that are trying to satisfy their desires to be murderers, to be rapists, to be looters, and all these other things here. Just people making up stories that they can actually go ahead and do what they need to do in life, right? And that's why it's easy to blame somebody, but it's harder to actually investigate the truth of it. You dig what I'm saying? Let me see something here. It says, generations, you know, look at this. Let me just see this. You know, this guy Bukhari, he collected 600,000 narrations. Okay, it says here sources differ on the exact number of hadiths in Bukhari Sahih, depending on whether hadith is defined as a prophetic tradition or the narration of that tradition. Experts in general have estimated the number of full Isnad narrations 7,397, without consideration to repetitions of different versions of the same report. The number of prophetic traditions reduced to about 2,600. All right, and it continues to talk about how many of them included weak hadiths. Hold on. No, let me share my screen to you guys. So you have to understand what is going on. That's why I'm not so quick here to put blame on people. At the time when Bukhari saw the earlier works and conveyed them, he found them in their presentation, combining between that would be considered Sahih and Hasan, and that many of them included da'if, weak hadiths. This aroused his interest in compiling hadiths whose authenticity was beyond doubt, right? So just imagine, my man collected over 600,000 narrations, whilst only 7,000 of those narrations actually made it into his books, because many of these narrations were weak or madud or fabricated. Just imagine that. 600,000 hadiths, right? Plus 700,000 hadiths in certain places. Others like Ahmed ibn Hanbal, 1 million hadiths, right? Just imagine how many of them were actually fabricated or weak. The Musnad of Ahmed ibn Hanbal has got like maybe 20,000 hadiths, I think. And you go through them and a lot of them are even weak themselves. So just imagine, yeah, the process of people fabricating, creating hadiths just to satisfy their lust and desires. Well, I've got to say to you guys, yeah, just you know, be wary, be wary. If you're a Muslim, be wary, like, be wary. And if you're a non-Muslim, like, you can paint everybody with the same brush, but truth be told, there are good people out there who are Muslims, right? And it's not coming from every single Muslim sect. It's only coming from one small, literally the minority of them that's actually infecting the rest of them, right? And as non-Muslims, you should help them, right? Save them from themselves. And as Muslims that are clued up, all right, save yourself, save your family, save your children, and save your community from these people that are teaching these dangerous ideologies, that are teaching your family, your friends to go out and kill people, or to even have, you know, mad thoughts about these kuffars, to think of them as less than human. That's the first step that you need, right? Is to dehumanize a person in order for you to do whatever your heart desires towards that person. As long as they're not human, you can enslave them. As long as they're not human, you can butcher them. And that's what is so scary that's going on in these madrasas and masjids today. They're teaching this type of ideology, right? And to my non-Muslims, be careful of other people that are teaching you this ideology of dehumanizing Muslims. There's somebody's son, there's somebody's daughter, there's somebody's mother, there's somebody's father, there's somebody's auntie and uncle and sister and brother. They're fellow human beings, right? Don't try to dehumanize them. They're people at the end of the day. You dig? Good people at the end of the day. And the good people actually outweigh, right, the minority that have this effed up mentality. The only problem is they're not brave enough, as of yet, in critical numbers, to go against the minority that's making the rest of them look bad. But we need to facilitate the majority who have got good hearts and good intentions and who do want a place in this society to actually fix up their community. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, anybody want to say something before we close down the show?
Yeah, could I just say that like, it's important to realize what you're saying about the dehumanization is so correct, and we should have a kind of consistent standards, because we are very we make sure to rightly call out politicians or political figures who would use these dehumanizing sentiments and hateful sentiments, but we aren't aware, and we aren't quick to call out. By we, I mean like sort of the general media and so on, the sort of general discourse. We don't call out this kind of hatred and dehumanization occurring within orthodox kind of conservative Salafi Islam, which takes as one of its kind of core teachings al-wala wal-bara, which means like loving and hating for the sake of Allah. So is this kind of idea based on kind of several hadiths and Quran verses that leads to them like hating Christmas, hating kufr, hating disbelief. Like they read, like some of them consider like al-wala wal-bara to be, you know, a fundamental part, like, oh, it's part of the shahada. And you can go on to Go Live Media's live streams and watch these kind of like psychos who kind of take teaching from Abdullah Faisal, who was convicted for saying that kind of if you go to India, like there's no peace treaty with the Hindus, so it's okay for you to kill him and rob him. Like they take teaching from these people. They take these this hateful sentiment and they consider it like one of their core beliefs. And so like we need to, I think there needs to be kind of a more sort of like open discussion about how this isn't any, you can't pretend that this is just a fringe kind of, oh, they're just like ISIS, they're just like these extremist tiny terrorist groups. This kind of like hateful ideology, which is the kind of breeding ground, it's like the swamp from which malaria ends up arising. It's this breeding ground where these hateful ideas will kind of eventually like ferment and manifest as actual kind of, you know, evil and action in the real world. You need to kind of harshly address that this is a severe problem within orthodox, conservative, traditionalist Islam, and you can't anymore just say, oh, it's just these fringe, tiny extremists. It's a minority, yes, but they're kind of an established minority which has kind of religious kudos and has this kind of respect behind them. So don't listen to people like Shamsi who kind of say, oh no, we're not like those kind of extremists. Like we're so kind of quiet politically. We aren't politically active, but they're still spreading poison. You know, so this kind of traditionalist Salafi Islam is poison, even if they kind of say like, oh, we aren't active in anything. We denounce terrorism. They're just like kind of, if there's like a neo-Nazi group which says, oh yeah, we denounce all violence, but you know, kind of they're still spreading this idea that the Jews deserve the Holocaust or kind of other hateful ideas. Like they need to be denounced anyway, even if they aren't. Even if you can't like say, oh yeah, all these good guys like, you know, Shamsi and Anwar and what should we call it? So that's that.
I hear you. I'm not gonna say nothing against you, my brother. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I want to say also that I think it also had to do with a lot of cultural Muslims that grew up and are young, vulnerable, these extremists to influence them might be an overwhelming thing also. I've listened. I just remembered that I used to listen a Salafi honest one. I used to use it that sometimes pops up everywhere, and he tells that there's nothing you can do about this whole like a tsunami of misinformed people. And I asked him, how could you stop it yourself? I mean, you are like the one with the knowledge that could be responsible to hold it back and to separate these people from your actual religion, because they actually give your religion a bad name. But it's like they don't have they seem to have an excuse, or they say, yeah, we talk about it. They have like these, I think that's those weak type of arguments that they cannot actually make avoid this to happen. I think that's a dumb excuse. You can always do something, but when you introduce them to some solutions like, oh yeah, but we still don't think we think it doesn't work, like give them, for example, a different name or whatever, to separate themselves from the people that actually wants to have this religion in a peaceful way, to like a clear separation. But because there's no clear separation, there's always this type of guerrilla kind of stuff going on that makes it you know, not as much easy to see who's the one that's going to be the one that's going to do the next terrorist attack. In that sense, it's hard to overlook or to
I
see.
hear you. I hear you. Let me just quickly drop a quick something right here. You know, like if you're looking for something right here, let's see. British Prime Minister was saddened and so forth, right? It says city authority said the market and all cultural attractions will be closed on Wednesday. All right, cool, say nothing. It says here, some 26,000 individuals suspected of posing a security risk to France are on the S-file watch list. I didn't say 26, you know. 26 is bad enough. 26 is bad enough to be on a watch list. 2,600 is bad enough on a watch list. But 26,000 individuals in France alone. We're not even talking about the UK, right? We're not talking about the UK that have these people on the watch list. We're not even talking about the people that have returned from fighting in these, you know, Syrias and so forth, right? We're not even talking about these people, right? Look at that, 26,000, of whom about 10,000 are believed to have been radicalized. No, stop. No, we need to start picturing what 10,000 people looks like. We do, you know. Who's been to a concert before? I don't know if you lot have been to the O2, for those of you lot in the UK, right? I don't know, man. Give me something. Give me something where you've seen 10,000 people at before. I don't know. Remember school playground? Remember all the children in the school, right? Remember that? Just imagine about 8 schools of people. God damn. I don't even know how to even picture that in my head of how many of these people really actually exist. 10,000 are believed to have been radicalized sometimes in fundamentalist, Salafist, Muslim mosques, online or abroad. So it seems as though that you know, UK routers and quite possibly the French governmental authorities have understood the problem, right? And apologies if you are a good Salafist, right? Apologies if you got been roped into Salafism, but they've identified the problem. Salafism and fundamentalists, this new wave of Salafists and fundamentalists, it's only existed in the last 200 years or so, right? So I know some of us who come from Islamic families, right, just realize that that's not your form of Islam, something that you've only adopted quite possibly within the last 20 years. Some of you guys who are Asians, who come to this country, you've only adopted this in the last 20 years or so, right? Most of you guys didn't even have a clue about Salafiyya and rolling up your trousers, you know, above your ankles and all that madness, right? Most of you guys didn't have a clue of that, right? So they've identified the problem. I'm not saying who the problem is. I'm just simply saying that this particular website, the French government have identified the problem. And where it's stemming from is from the mosques, online, as somebody said earlier on certain videos that they've been watching, even certain, you know, videos, what else is the forums and so forth, or they've been flown abroad, right? They've gone abroad to be radicalized some more. All right, just look out for these ones. That's what I'm going to say. Look out for these ones as a starting place. Not me saying this, but this is what this website and the French government is saying. Anyways, anything else that you don't want to add before we close down the show? Let me know, family. Let me know. My good brother Omar is about to come up in the building, unknown. You know, hopefully he brings another dynamic and helps us to rethink our positions in life. We'll find out on the next time of Titans TV. Now I'm playing. Let me just wait for him to come on and see what's happening. You know, been dropping some messages and tagging Titans TV and stuff. Let me quickly try to answer some of your questions or read them out real quickly. Okay. Abu Respect Al-Rastafari says the minority are good at propaganda. Look at their channels. Says, all right, I will do. Beautiful Word says Angela Minogue. Devon Andrew Bay says peace to you. Kalam, they will never go against them. Okay, let's see. And fellow Patriots. Good night, Patriots. Salute to you guys. Salute to you guys who came down and supported your cause at the march this Sunday. All right. Salute to you guys who actually came down and represented for yourselves at Speaker's Corner as well. Your presence did not go unnoticed. And shouts out to all of you guys who always show love. Go ahead, Omar. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Callum? Yeah, man. I haven't read much of it as of yet. As to what's happened in France, yeah. But one thing I do want to say is I don't understand this whole this idea that it's not just the Muslims actually. It's quite a few conspiracies online, yeah. Whenever something like this happens, they're just so quick to just saying nothing happened. Oh, false flag, it's fake, etc. Yeah. As a Muslim, as a Salafi Muslim, actually, I mean, this stuff is prevalent, yeah, and we're living in times of bloodshed, madness, like. Why are you so surprised, first of all, that this stuff is happening? And even if you want to be surprised, that's fine. But just to say everything is fake is very unrealistic. But anyway, I do, however, want to pull you up on something you said, which sounded quite contradictory, to be honest, because you said in the past 20 years, this Salafi thing became a problem, yeah? The reason I have an issue with that is because you, as an educated non-Muslim about Islam, are very well aware of what the term Salafi actually means, yeah? And it means what, Kalam?
The word Salaf is to do with the predecessors or the ancestors. And then
So,
obviously,
yeah, so we're talking about going way back, yeah, about following those who are from
belonging
way
to
back.
such and such. But of course, when we're talking about Salafi, would you prefer me to say Wahhabi?
No,
Would you
because
prefer me to say the fundamentalist ideology
no, because
that was birthed out of how can I put it? Ahmed ibn Hanbal continued down the line through Bayhaqi, continued down the line through Ibn Taymiyyah, continued down the line through his student as well, and so forth until we reach to Abdul Wahhab. Would you like me to give you the whole isnad
no,
of when this?
everyone you mention are well-established figures to be upon the correct ideology of what Islam should be.
Mhm.
However, to link that with the modern day problem we have with fake jihad, fake terrorist attacks in the name of Islam, is where my issue is. Do you get it? So the whole it's not a Salafi problem. You get it?
It's the Quran and the Hadiths. That's the problem.
No.
Yes,
It's really, that's not a fair argument. It's really not a fair argument. Even coming from like the biggest Islamophobes, like just to say that it's
what's an
not
Islamophobe?
good.
Hold on. Oh,
No, I
I'll be
mean,
right here in a minute. Let
it's
me
just
just
go
let
on.
him
Okay.
finish his thought. Go ahead. Continue on where you left off before he was interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, where was I? Sorry. I
So
just
it's
mean
not
okay.
a
So
Salafi problem.
okay.
It's got
Yeah. Okay. So the term Salaf, as Colin rightly described, is to attribute our methodology in religion and ideology in religion to our righteous predecessors who were closest to the times of the Prophet, because they were the people who had access to the religion in its foremost time. Yeah. So the problems we face today can't be ascribed to something which is quite prevalent in our sources and in our books and in our literature. Because if you go to those literatures, you're going to find that it's those very figures that Kalam mentioned, the Ahmad ibn Hanbals, the Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, these scholars. Yeah, it's these very figures who are going to have written works upon works upon works, refuting the very likes of these individuals who are conducting these attacks. Yeah. So it's just it's so bizarre, and we are living in an age of
But they
bizarreness.
so these new scholars, they're refuting the companions of the Prophet, Abu Bakr and Umar and all these people. They're refuting them, yeah.
Hold on, Christian. Hold on. I don't want to take it down that alleyway just yet, because we're trying to have a nice civilized one where we're not, I don't want
Don't
to get on.
disrespect the Sahaba, my Muslim friend.
All right, so I'll get you guys to just mute out your mic, right? Just mute out your mic. But I want you to, my good, brother Umar, you say it's not a Salafi problem, right? All right. But let's just see. All right. Let's just see. Is these attacks that we're seeing in the West propagated by Sunnis or Shias?
They come from the
Sunnis.
predominant Sunni school of thinking. The
Stop.
people behind
Stop.
it, generally
Stop.
speaking.
Stop.
Generally
Stop.
speaking, I'm trying to
Okay.
be as on
Generally
side and
speaking-
as unbiased as possible.
Yeah, generally speaking, Shias are kind of like out of this for now, right? They're out of this.
Let's put them to the side, even though they have major issues. Okay.
Yep, they have issues. Fair enough, they have issues. Okay, so we have the Nation of Islam over in America and some in the UK right now, right? Are they part of the problem?
Okay, are we trying to rule out every 71 of the sects, or
I'm just quickly showing you something that they're not the
That's
problem.
a good question.
All of these ones are not part of the problems, right? Now, most of these terrorist attacks, is it coming from the Salafi movement? We can say that they're bad Salafis, but is the majority, i.e. 99.9% of it, coming from the Salafi movement?
No, Callum, because if you've been listening to what I've been saying, it's exactly the opposite. Yeah, since I've come on the panel.
So they're not Salafis?
No, definitely not. They are
Okay.
anti-Salafi, yeah?
Okay, no. Let me correct myself, right? Let me correct myself. Would they identify, okay, as being Salafist? Not that they are Salafi, not that they are following, the teachers themselves, the scholars themselves, the Sahabas themselves, they would say la to this, right? They would say abata, never this, never do these things, right? But these people who are doing all these attacks, right? Can we say the majority of them claim, wrongly so or rightly so, they claim, number one, to be Muslims, right? We can say they claim to be Muslims. They may be bad Muslims, or they may do things that take them out of the fold of Islam, but they claim to be Muslims. They also claim to be Sunni Muslims, as you've already identified. And they even claim that they're following the way of the Salaf, even how misguided that they are, because they truly are not following the way of the Salaf, right? Can we say that?
Okay, are you okay? So, like I said, I haven't
how
read.
they self-identify, not
Okay,
who they
yeah,
truly are.
yeah,
But
I
do
get
they
it. No, I understand. I understand. It's just when you're saying they, yeah, is when I'm, because I mean, are you talking about the guy today? Are you talking about ISIS in Syria? Are you talking about Al Qaeda? Are you talking about Taliban? Who, like, because I know what you're talking about, the kind of stuff
I'm,
you're talking about, but
yeah,
who?
I'm talking. Let me be very specific and clear, right?
Exactly.
And do this, right? I'm just going to go to the article, right? It says here
Okay.
that out of the 26,000 individuals suspected of posing security risks to France are on the S-file watch list, of whom about 10,000 are believed to have been radicalized, sometimes in fundamentalist Salafist Muslim mosques online or abroad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've identified the problem here, and I'm just simply saying, is this correct? Is this actually correct what they're saying? That the people who are doing these things, right, they are identifying themselves as being part of Salafi Islam. You can say that they're not, but is it true that they identify themselves as such?
Okay. So are you speaking about the 26,000 individuals we've just mentioned?
This is just to do with France. Like, we can go to the UK and we can pull up the figures in the UK, but just France alone.
Yeah. So that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that these 26,000 individuals are individuals in different areas who probably don't know each other. I mean, are you trying to build some kind of army out of them? What are you trying to do right now? Because to say they're all on one ideology is crazy, Callum. What are you doing right now? Like,
what I'm simply saying is, right, these individuals that are being radicalized, okay, are radicalized on the Salafi Islam. They're not being radicalized on the Shia Islam, Nation of Islam, Ahmadiyya Islam, Sufi Islam. Let me continue. What else? I said Qadriani already. Like, they're not being influenced on the Abadi Islam. They're not being influenced on these different sects and ideologies. It's specifically the Salafi movement, right, that they're getting the inspiration from. The movement, not the actual Salaf itself, not the Salaf Saleh, not the Salaf Saleh themselves. We're not speaking about the Salaf Saleh. We're saying those people who are part of the Wahhabi, part of the Salafi movement, the movement, right? This is where these individuals are coming from. Generally speaking, there's about 3 slices of this Salafi movement, right? You've got the Madkhalis, i.e. the Shamsi-esque, Salafi publications. You generally don't get much of them that I'm aware of, right? But at the same time, you got the others, and a lot of them, come from that hardline, politically based, Islamist-based, want to create a caliphate-based Islam ideology, right? The majority of them are coming from that. Can we all say, yeah, we've noticed it? Can we say that? Or we're not going to say that?
Yep, I noticed it.
Okay. And we have good Salafi brothers out there, right? So we've got brothers like Omar that comes on, that wants to come on here and dispel. He doesn't want to quarrel. And it's why I respect, like, brother like him, I respect him. Most people think I don't respect him. I know I respect him, right? We've got brothers like Gold Live Media, right? Like, I don't agree with him, but I respect him for actually not simply saying, I want to fight this person, I want to kill this person, or whatever the case is. No, I'm going to jump on this channel and I'm going to refute this person. He jumps onto Christian Prince's channel, yeah? He wholeheartedly believes in what he believes in and tries to refute that. No matter how much you disagree with a person, you have to honor and respect that person, because he's not just simply keyboard warrioring, he's actually warrioring in the spirit. He's warrioring with his words. Other people want to warrior with their hands and their feet. Stop it. But anyways, continue, my brother, Omar.
Just quick, yeah. The KKK told everyone that they are Christians, and I acknowledge that. I can't deny that the KKK didn't put crosses out and tell themselves, they told the whole world that they're Christians. We're very aware of that. Were they correct Christians? No. So what Kalam's trying to say is that these guys that are doing these things, that are advocating these things, they're saying the sect that they're from. It doesn't mean that they're correct. That's what he's trying to say.
I get what he's trying to say. The thing is, yeah, you're gonna have to bring some kind of speech or articles, etc., from these individuals who are conducting these attacks, who are planning them, who are sending out warnings and claiming responsibility for these righteous jihadi attacks, yeah, and saying that they are the ones who've conducted it, and we are upon this ideology. We don't have that as of yet, yeah. So this is why I'm trying to pin it down to a group which we can use as an example, yeah. As in, if you maybe want to use a Taliban example, or Al Qaeda, or ISIS themselves, yeah. These guys, when they claim certain responsibility for attacks which have been carried out in foreign countries, yeah, they're individuals. If we pin down what their ideology is, generally speaking, yeah, then you'd have a point. But at the moment, this thing about pulling out the whole 26,000
Oh, I
figure,
get. You want name dropping and organizations in that?
not necessarily. Look, what I'm trying to say is,
let me do one. Let me do one.
Attribute.
Let's do Al Muhajirun. Okay, Al Muhajirun. That's yeah. Al Muhajirun is a banned terrorist, Salafist, jihadist organization that is based in the United Kingdom, and which has been linked to international terrorism, homophobia, and anti-Semitism. The group, in its original incarnation, operated in the United Kingdom from the 14th of January 1986 until the British government announced an antecedent ban in August 2005. The group became notorious for its September 2002 conference, the Magnificent 19, praising the September 11th, 2001 attacks. The group mutates periodically so to evade the law, then operates on different aliases. It was a proscribed group, proscribed under the UK Terrorism Act in 2000 on 14th of January 2010, together with 4 other organizations, including Islam for UK, and again in 2014 as Needful Khalifa. Al Muhajirun has also run a Lahore safe house for visiting Muslims. All right, so we've got a few things here. Let's just quickly see what they've done. All right, Omar Bakri and Anjum Chowdhury are known to have led al-Muhajirun. Okay, continues. Let's quickly just, go down a little bit. Go down, go down. They've been banned in
Up
various.
there it says allies. You skipped
Hold
it. Like at the
on,
top it says allies.
they've been banned, right, in various different universities and so forth. All right. And it got, let's see, where is it? I know they've got some of these. Where's the place where they have the list of the terrorist attacks that they've done? Let me see if I can find it real quickly.
There it is.
There it is, attacks, right? So you got 29th of April 2003, Asif Hanif, who attended some of al-Muhajirun circles, carried out a bombing at a cafe in Tel Aviv in Israel that killed 3 people and injured 60 others. Okay. In 2006, another individual connected with al-Muhajirun allegedly detonated a bomb in India, killing himself and destroying an army barracks. 2007, 5 young Muslims with al-Muhajirun connections, the names were given here, were convicted of a multiple bombing plot to use fertilizer bombs, which police could have killed hundreds of British people. MI5, salute to them for doing their good work. 2013, the murder of Lee Rigby was carried out by 2 members of al-Muhajirun. Okay. At least one of the perpetrators of June 2017 London attack, Khurram Butt, was a member. So that's a nice example of a Salafi jihadist group in the actual UK that we are well familiar with. Remember, this is the group here that gave rise and gave birth to the Tommy Robinson EDL. Everybody's against EDL. Well, imagine if you Muslims, right, who come out against EDL, imagine if you lot came out against al-Muhajirun, you would have saved countless lives, right? Countless lives you could have saved. You could have saved countless people who go into prison because you stood up for them. Countless people who committed suicide, you could have saved them. Countless, individuals in the UK and beyond who have a bad taste in their mouth over Islam. Imagine the way you come out against EDL and Tommy Robinson. Imagine if you just came out against Muhajirun. There would be no Tommy Robinson and there would be no English Defence League. But anyways, so that's the nice little case study. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah. So look, Kalam, I have no problem, and many of us Muslims who are sincere in searching for the facts are ever gonna have a problem with admitting that there's Muslims who go down the radical route. Listen, that's not my issue. My issue is with you here and with the article claiming that this is a Salafi issue. You still can't provide evidence for it. And look,
Yeah, bro. Show us a Shia organization that was doing these bad things in the UK.
Calm down, bro. Okay. So what I'm saying is we defined, yeah, and rightfully so at the beginning, what Salafi is, because getting terms right is the first step to having an argument. Honestly, people sometimes they argue and they don't even define terms. It's a joke. They talk for hours and they don't even know what they're talking about. Okay, so it's good that we did that, yeah. Because so we defined that the Salaf are the righteous generations around the time of the Prophet, who are known to have established a lot of literature, a lot of works, a lot of arguments, even surrounding these types of issues of jihad, etc. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, even if these people are not themselves bringing these scholarly works, these Salaf, these scholars who are from the Salaf, yeah, if they were Salafis, they would be bringing statements from these scholars who I've just mentioned to you in those times, and they would be backing up these guys. Yeah. So they're not Salafi. But I appreciate though, you guys did say, look, they're not Salafi. Yeah. They're just saying they are. Is that what so you guys agree with me to that extent, yeah? By now.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, see, this is my issue here because you need to then refute my argument.
I will do that.
My good brother, okay. I don't want to do that personally, right? Because it's for me, it's going to be too much of a silly argument for me, right? What I'm going to simply say is that they identify themselves as, or they've been identified and they identify themselves as Salafis, right? That's all that matters to me, because I know we can do the whole, semantic game, right? And we can say, these people that are grooming kids or, blowing themselves up, they're not Muslims. The Quran tells you that if you hurt, one person, if you spill the blood of one person,
That's the Talmud.
the blood of, I know, it's like you spilled the blood of the whole of humanity. So those people clearly not following Islam. I'm with you. I know we can go down that long, whole, drawn out game, and I refuse to play it. What I'm going to tell you is that they simply identify themselves, self-identification, as Muslims, and self-identify as Salafis, or following the way of the Salaf, regardless if they're following it to the T or they're not following it to the T, whether they're misguided, whether that they're confused with certain things. I don't want to play that game. It gets all murky. I'm just going to simply say they identify themselves as such. We're going to take it as that, and we have to sort out that problem, right? And I think Muslims in general, you don't need to sort out that problem, because I know nobody ain't gonna pay for my funeral.
Callum,
Like, hold on. Let me just drop this, right? How much I'm helping y'all. I know y'all are gonna pay for my funeral. We already know this, right? Like my family is gonna be like in dire strain, right? Nobody ain't paying. Look, see this? Look, I'm still going to Speaker's Court. I'm still walking down the road like every single day, being identified yet, and I've yet to have myself with a stab proof or bulletproof vest. Nobody ain't dropping me no 250 for my bulletproof vest or my stab proof vest. Nobody yet has done that, Okay, nobody has yet has done that. So I'm not gonna be deluded. Y'all need to hook a brother up. Like, I need something. At least get me like a little metal plate that I can put next to my heart. I think I could survive most attacks. Put something next to my heart, please.
We'll sort that out.
Callum, since the unknown got to make the case that these are not sort of true at Salafis, am I allowed to quickly make the case that they are?
Yeah, make it quick, and
Okay.
Omar,
Okay,
just have patience.
Sure. So just very quickly, kind of unknown is basically making the case that anyone who's not a Mad Kali is not a Salafi. He's claiming that anyone who isn't a political quietist isn't a Salafi. But you can, but that's crazy though, because like
I didn't say that.
He's a Salafi.
No, stop. I don't think he said that, because I don't even think he's Salafi himself. I don't know. Are you Mad Khali?
I am Salafi.
Okay, but
yeah, exactly. He's saying that anyone who isn't a Mad Kali is not a real Salafi. He's trying to kind of monopolize the term and say, oh no, everyone else isn't a real Salafi. Which is silly for one thing, because he takes teaching from. He takes teaching from Abdul Wahab. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. Excuse me, I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. Okay, so he says like, oh yes, in this line of tradition of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and then Ibn Taymiyyah, and then Abdul Wahab. These were people who are on the truth. But Wahhabi, he led a religious kind of revolution against the Ottoman rulers, because he didn't see them as religiously legitimate. And so they claim to be kind of like quietist, and they claim, oh, this isn't in our tradition, like there is no kind of violence or violent revolution kind of within the Salafi tradition. But it's not true. Like, you just look at what Abdul ibn Wahhab did, and he did that with the Saud government, and now they're trying to pretend that that's a slander, that it never happened. But it did happen, and other people, other Salafis, realize that it did happen, and so they realize, and like what's the word, they don't accept this Mad Kali idea that, oh, don't ever say anything bad about the rulers. They realize that it's just BS. It's just kind of being like paid scholars for dollars. They realize that it's just kind of being shills for the Saudi government, that all they're doing is they're selling their dignity, and just like kind of making sure, oh no, we'll never criticize the Saudi government. So these other Salafis realize that it's nonsense. They realize that they're being sold bullshit by Salafis, and they realize, well, okay, what else should we do? Let's get politically active. Let's form the Muslim Brotherhood. Let's form Hizb ut-Tahrir. Let's form Al-Muhajirun. And so that's the other kind of outcome from this. And it's part of the same swamp of the Salafi Islam.
Umar, you're free to talk, You're free to talk. Just unmute your mic, right? We're gonna be closing down in the next like few minutes, like it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. How many? So another 3-5 minutes. Is that good enough, everybody? All right. Let me know. Drop a 1 if that's good enough for you. 3 to 5 minutes. We're gonna continue. All right. But it's late, and my family is gonna be already mad annoyed with me. All right. So Omar, you don't want to respond? All right, cool. Say nothing. Buddha, man, I've been missing you, G. Like, no homo on that, but like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't want you to talk about the topic, man. I want to say what you're saying though. Like, how are you?
Well, no, I'm okay, but you know what? Seeing as somebody sent me the link really late, I had difficulties catching up. You get me? That's why I'm being quiet.
All right. Fair enough. Do you know what I need to start doing? I need to have you on like a local dial list, like a grouping where I need to just send it directly to you. And then to like Rich Kid and to like Gabs and to like Kelly Arm and to a few other you know, like real core people that are on Titans TV. My bad, I apologize. Like, you know, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm humble.
That's not good enough, man. I want chicken.
All right, cool. I got you. Jerk chicken, stew chicken, curry chicken, peri chicken.
Chicken gizzard, my friend. Chicken gizzard.
Non-halal chicken.
Man wants the gizzard, you know. All right, man, got you. All right. So yeah, Christian, Malik, talk to us. You know, talk to us. Drop some bars for us. We're gonna actually have Paperboy on tomorrow. Right? It's gonna be a Christian orientated show tomorrow, God willing. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, like I just like to tell the Muslims, man, I'm not out against you, man. I don't hate you guys. I just hate Muhammad, hate Allah, and hate your books. It has nothing to do.
Sorry, man, my mic got stuck on mute. Can I respond to James, please?
Go ahead.
Wait. Before you respond to James, yeah, because Christian Malik is talking mad reckless. Yeah, I need to hear that first before we continue. Go on, Christian Malik.
I think I came at the right time, man. I don't think he wants to continue that. That was not beneficial to nobody. You agree?
It's not beneficial to nobody, so I'm not allowed to hate and dislike Muhammad.
You can hate and dislike Muhammad, but it's gonna be to your own demise.
What do you mean by that?
How's it going to be to his demise?
I don't want to get into that. Can I address James, please? I mean, if I was to have a conversation...
No. Get into it. What do you mean?
Look,
what do you mean?
Mate,
bro, we can easily decide.
Bro, what if there was like a prophet that comes in 100 years' time and says that Prophet Muhammad, all the things that he said was a lie, this is the new religion, and actually the Quran has been corrupted? How would you act?
If Islam was that fragile and I was to be debased that easily.
No. Would you like that prophet that is saying that Muhammad's a lie and the Quran is corrupt? Would you like him?
It wouldn't be a prophet, would it?
Exactly. That's how I feel about Muhammad. He's nothing to me, so why should I respect him as one?
You don't have to, but like I said, it's going to be to your own demise. That's not my issue.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is we're all quite grounded by now as people of scripture.
I love the creator of the world, like the creator that created the universe. I love him with all my mind, body, and soul, bro. But when it comes to like Muhammad, I don't like him at all. So you think I'm going to be demised because I don't like your prophet and I don't listen to him?
I don't think I know what happens to people who end like that. So hopefully you don't end like that.
Oh, so basically, it's not about Allah, it's not about God, it's not about anything, it's about Muhammad.
Ultimately, a person who disrespects and dislikes and doesn't have love for the messenger of God hates God also. It's just how it goes.
Wow. So every feeling I have for Muhammad is attributed straight to Allah, because Muhammad is like Allah?
If you disrespect a messenger of the king, that is what you call disbelief in treason, even in a worldly sense.
So I will get burned forever in hell.
Mate, I'm not God. I can't tell people, who is it that's going to
You just
guide you?
basically said my demise.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
you're
you,
all right to tell people who they should and shouldn't respect or worship. I don't get where you come with a double standard here.
Get him, Buddha. Get him, Buddha.
So can I respond to James now? Because I mean, if I was to have an argument with with everybody who hated my prophet,
No. Go ahead, bro, man. I think you're
White flag,
digging a deeper hole the more you speak.
white flag, white flag, white flag, white flag, white flag. I'm throwing in the towel, please. Let me. I'm throwing in the towel. Throwing in the towel. Sorry. Yeah. Can we just move away from that, please? Okay. Yeah. Omar, please jump in. Jump in. Don't return to that. Whatever you do, please do not return to that. Let's move forward. Go ahead.
so the biggest mistake that James made when he came in was the same mistake that I addressed. That he don't define terms, but he throws them out there and gives his explanation. Okay, he came in with the term madkali straight away, and nobody here pre James's interference mentioned that word. Okay, nor explained it, nor claimed himself to be one. So for him to say I am claiming that I am one is all over the place. Okay. Anyway, my second issue with what he was saying was the fact that the historical evidence that he cited, yeah, to back up his claim that it's a Salafi problem was in the 1800s or so. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we've clarified about 5 times now in this conversation that when we refer to the Salaf, we are talking about those who are close to the generation of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So the Prophet, peace
I
be
just
upon him.
googled demise and it means death, bro. It means killing someone.
Wow.
I just googled demise. It says death, killing someone. What do you
Right.
mean I'm gonna get killed if I don't uh listen to Muhammad or don't like him or something?
Okay, so I mean,
That's a bit, bro. That's a bit cold, man. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not as intelligent as everyone else, so I just wrote meaning of demise, and it says a number one noun, a person's death, law, conveyance or transfer of property or a title, will or lease, and convey or grant an estate by will or lease. So you man want to body me so you can take my stuff. If I don't listen to the prophet. That's typical. This is what I was talking about. This is like back in the day, Abu Bakr Islam thing. All right then, bro. Carry on, man. It's cool. It's cool. God bless you, my brother, man. God bless you.
this is what I like, guys. Defining terms. See, we're learning. We're learning. Okay. So my problem with James.
I better not say nothing, bro. I'm gonna respect you, Kalam. I'm gonna mute my mic, bro.
So my problem
Yay!
with James
Yay! I'm
is
dead. I'm dead. Oh. Okay.
yeah.
Let's. Yeah. Press forward. Continue.
Me. Yeah. So James, if you're still here, your refutation was ridiculous because I spent a good couple minutes at the very least explaining to Callum, yeah, as best as I could, something he already knew, but I was just reminding him because a reminder benefits the some people. And it's clearly not a Salafi problem because James's refutation cited something which happened in the time of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, may Allah be pleased with him, who was in the 1800s, yeah? So we established that the Salaf, the time of the Salaf, is something, let me just make it clear out there, that
You're
the
saying,
Prophet,
may Allah be pleased with him. He bodied their people, bro.
oh my God, okay. Is that
Okay
James
then. All right,
speaking?
cool. May Allah be pleased with him, innit?
Is that James?
No,
Who's,
that's Christian. No, I'm still here.
okay.
No,
So,
it's just like if I'm like Osama bin Laden or if I'm like Adolf Hitler, may Allah be pleased with him, people are gonna be like, whoa, like, does it make sense, bro? If I describe like a war guy, um, um, did you say Muhammad ibn Walid?
what?
Wahab.
Wahab. Okay
Yeah.
then, okay.
Okay.
Even worse.
Right, anyway.
Have you
Okay.
finished your point, unknown?
James, look, let's stop dancing around, yeah. Look, if you're gonna claim this is a Salafi problem, because Kalam's not claiming that. Kalam's saying that they are claiming that they are Salafi. However, he's happy to at least in this moment in time not argue the point that it's a Salafi problem. It's just that they're claiming it. However, you on the other hand are claiming that it is a Salafi methodology problem.
So
But
do
then,
I claim the same thing.
yeah, that's fine. So you need to bring something from the time of the Salaf, or from the quotes of the Salaf, or from the books of the Salaf, which justify the actions of those who claim
No,
they're
it's an
Salafi.
innovation. It's an innovation. You guys weren't happy with what was going on, so you innovated your own style and flavor. Let's be
But can I
real.
go first?
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you were talking with Kalam and you were defining the terms of the Salaf, and Kalam was summarizing the history of the development of the current Salafi movement, you said, if I recall correctly, and people will be able to check back in time, you said that Abdul ibn Wahhab was on the truth. And I'm sure, like most people, even if you don't believe that Abdul ibn Wahhab was on the truth, you're not, the only Salafi in the world. Most Salafis consider him to be an example to follow, one of the sort of leaders or forces who helped kind of spread the movement and revitalize this kind of methodology. Okay, so he's clearly a big influence within the movement. And what did he do? Was he totally politically inactive? No. He led a religious revolution against the Ottoman Empire, along with the Saudi government, a violent uprising to establish their own kingdom within the Ottoman Empire. So, like, if you want to say, what I'm trying to say isn't that Mad Khalis aren't Salafi. I'm saying they are Salafi, but so are also kind of Qutbis and the Muslim Brotherhood, or at least some members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and Hizb ut-Tahrir, and these other kind of jihadist groups. Not all of them, but many of them are Salafi. And also, like, another really important thing to recognize is that many of the leaders of jihadist groups, like for example, the leader of ISIS, like al-Baghdadi, the leader of Boko Haram, the leader of several other kind of Muslim groups, all have degrees from Al-Azhar University. So, that's a less important thing. The more important thing is that to say that it is missing from the Salafi tradition to be politically active is wrong, because we can take Abdul ibn Wahhab as a member of that Salafi tradition. Yes, he is not a member of the first 3 generations of Muslims, but I'm sure he could justify his actions in terms of, oh, look at this example, look at this example, look at this example. Because the problem with what Mad Khalis do when they try and claim that, oh no, that this isn't from the way of the Salaf, is that they only focus in on a few kind of small bits of hadiths, and they only look at kind of this thing, and they kind of discard the rest of the kind of behavior of those 3 generations, and of the Sahaba, and of the Prophet, and of Muhammad himself. So it's just kind of cherry picking when you kind of look and think, oh yes, from this, look at this one hadith where it says kind of, oh, don't criticize the rulers, but yet they kind of ignore other hadiths about for example, there's a hadith that says that until the end of time there will be a kind of group of Muslims who will fight, for Allah's cause, continuously. So so I think kind of you can't say that kind of any kind of politically active, non-quietist, non-Mad Kali strain of Salafism isn't true Salafism. That's just trying to monopolize the term. It's trying to monopolize kind of this methodology where you direct every single one of your actions and thoughts to something that's a member of something that the righteous predecessors or the Sahaba did. And it's a no true Scotsman fallacy.
Okay.
Since there's a nice little break, let me just quickly say this. I think we might have M Stacks in the building as well. And if not, we've got one of our queens, right? Let me see. No, Khalifat. Khalifia. Yo, how do you say Khalifa in the feminine?
There's no such word, because a woman can't be a successor.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Don't ever say that. Of course, a woman could be a successor. Okay, how do you say imamat? How do you say female leader then?
Same thing. But basically, in the Arabic language,
okay, don't worry. I don't want the Arabic language.
No. I'm just quickly. The words encompass both genders.
Okay.
So you can use the word man for woman.
Let me shout my. Okay, you got a word for queen, right?
I don't know.
No, there is a word for queen. But anyways, let me shout out my queen, yeah, Rose. Hey, yo, Rose, what's good, queen? I'm well, thank you. I can't complain. Alhamdulillah and all that. Give thanks and praise. How are you? All right, cool. Did you have anything that you wanted to? Did you want anything that you wanted to add before the Wolves jump in? All right. Yeah, your background is gonna be like a problem still. So when you're quiet, holla. All right, Omar. No, let me go to Mohammed. M-Stacks.
Yeah, I'm just listening right about now. I'm not feeling.
You're not feeling it.
I'm not filled in. I don't know what topic. I'm just going.
You're not filled in.
Like, I'm gonna summarize the thing or something.
All right, brother Omar. Jump in quickly because I want to end the show. I know you lot are asking me not to end the show, but I want to end the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I just think James, like, it's fine. Everything you're saying. I mean, you can make these points and that, but you're not bringing anything. I'm sorry to sound a bit blunt. However, it's just all conjecture and opinion.
Yo, Kalam, mute your mic.
Yeah, it's okay. So James, man, right. So you're saying I'm trying to monopolize the term Salafi to mean Madkhali, okay? You got to bring your evidence for that claim because I don't know where on earth I've even mentioned the word Madkhali again. So that's all over the place. But
sorry, somebody define what Madkhali means, please.
Madkhali is basically a person. There's a Saudi Arabian, what's it called, name Rabi al-Madkhali, and people derive the word Madkhali from his name. It's like the same thing to Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, Wahhabi. It's all just fake names ascribed.
Okay, all right. I'll ask James. James, could you define the word Madkhali, please?
There's not a definition.
Yeah, like they say, it's people who follow the teachings of kind of Rabbi Madkhali, and what characterizes their line of thinking is that kind of people who are the true Salafiyah shouldn't be politically active, shouldn't criticize the rulers, things which would sort of eliminate any kind of political organization or terrorist organization or jihadi organization that doesn't have kind of an official kind of that which doesn't have like the Saudi government seal of approval. It would remove them from being kind of considered like on the right path or true Salafiyah. So that's the reason why I'm saying that kind of unknown or Abu Mujahid is kind of bringing forth this or sort of seems to be transmitting the same kind of Madkhali ideology because he's trying to say that it's not in the way, it's not on the way of the Salaf to like this.
I got you, James. Yeah. Okay. So let's say that there are these groups of people who are trying to monopolize the term Salafi. Yeah? However, from your point of view, they are doing it unjustly, and these other groups are actually upon this Salafi methodology. That's your claim, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So now, for them to make that claim that they are Salafi, it's for them to bring the evidences to show that they are. So you made a bold claim, very bold claim, saying that these people who follow the Qutbi methodology and all these other groups of people are actually Salafis and are actually upon the books of the Salaf. So why do they themselves? So I know you're not going to be able to not bring any quotes from Salafi scholars from the Salaf, from the time of the Salaf. Why not? If they are actually true Salafis, which is your main claim, then why are they not doing that?
But like clearly they are. Like they'll have produced manuals where they kind of, the thing is with a corpus of scripture like Islam and the Hadith and the opinions of the Sahaba and the opinions of the first 3 generations, you're going to be able to construct nearly any ideology. So like the Magkali kind of strain of ideology is they'll focus very, very, very keenly on all of the kind of quotes which seem to say, oh, no matter what, always kind of respect and follow the leaders and don't make any trouble. They'll always follow that kind of bootlicking ideology. Okay.
James.
Whereas other kind of people can look through this corpus of opinions and find, oh look, here's someone saying to always fight for what is right, and they'll find other sort of evidences to say, oh yeah, so we're look at this from the Sahaba and Muhammad and the righteous predecessors, and they'll be able to justify it in that way. And so like, and this has been done. I'm not kind of making this up. They have done this, and they have published their books, kind of saying, oh look at us, we're this is from the way of the Prophet and his companions and the first 3 predecessors, and you're pretending, oh, that's never happened, but it has happened.
All right, James, look, yeah, I can appreciate your effort in what you're doing, and you're quite firm on your opinion. However, it's quite clear, and I'm sure you'd agree, that you're not really coming with any sort of actual argument or evidence at the moment. It's just a conversation, which is fine because it's hard over the phone, online at this time, to actually break down the arguments. I get it. However, maybe the conversation has to end here then, because unless you can memorize certain concepts that each group has brought, and then we can analyze and critically evaluate and use it as a criteria from the Salaf to decide whether that is from them or not, then this conversation is just going to be back and forth. So
yeah, all right, I agree with that, but what I'm saying isn't hard to verify. All you need to do is kind of search
no, I get that, but I feel like you're not saying anything.
Groups I've mentioned, like for example Hizb ut-Tahrir, and then search their founder and look at his publications, and then he'll have published a manifesto, and he'll have, within that manifesto, he will have justified his actions and his methodology through kind of the evidence from the Quran, Hadith, Sahaba, and righteous predecessors. So you're saying that kind of, oh, but they haven't followed the Salafi methodology because they haven't followed the way of the righteous predecessors, the Salaf. But that's delusional, I'm afraid. And we can do this later, where I can show you, look, here are these manifestos where they do exactly that.
Please,
and I appreciate that I haven't shown them yet, but they do exist. Like every single movement I've mentioned, from ISIS to Hizb ut-Tahrir, will have published a manifesto where they justify their actions from either the Sahaba or the Salaf.
Who makes you think they're justified though?
It's cool. Mohammed M. Stacks. You know what? He's right though, because he has to actually bring the arguments for us to go any further. Because even if we feel as if he's coming from an ignorant standpoint, we can't completely refute him right now, because whatever he's saying, we don't know.
Don't give us conjecture. Give us the manifesto. Tell us.
Yeah, that's what we need. But right now is not the time, bro.
Your face. Come on, let's get it going now, innit?
Well, I told you like what you can look up if you want to see it.
No, don't tell me what I need to look up. We're conversating right now. Not providing any evidence. You're throwing conjectures in the brain.
It's not conjecture. These manuals exist. Every single terrorist. What?
Look, it's cool, man. It's obviously not going to happen right now.
They're giggling. These boys are on a joke team.
Yeah, they're just pretending that
they're giggling. They're giggling.
Who have kind of degrees from Al Azhar University, like doctorates in Islamic sciences from Al Azhar University, won't have justified their actions from the corpus of Islamic scripture, and that's delusional. They're living in this bubble where they think that kind of these people are somehow kind of like either purely political, or they're Baathists in disguise, or they're an agenda. They're just totally ignorant. They don't know anything about Islam. But no, that's not true. They just have a different reading of Islam, okay? And they're justifying what they're doing from kind of this corpus of opinions and circumstances, and they're constructing a justification for their belief. The same way that Magkali has done, by zooming in on all these things, saying, oh, obey the rulers no matter what, blah, 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 blah. And they're kind of pretending that that's the only form of Salafiyah. The thing is, I could ask him, okay, prove that Magkali is deriving every single one of his actions from the Salaf. But I'm not going to do that, because I have some self-awareness, and it would be ridiculous, because obviously kind of these people will have kind of writings, and will have manifestos where they have like constructed a justification from these various opinions from the Sahaba, from kind of the actions of Muhammad, and from the actions of the righteous predecessors. They're calling it conjecture, but it really isn't. You just need to kind of go to these terrorist groups like Al Muhajirun and Hizb ut-Tahrir and ISIS. Kind of click on who the leaders are, look at the publications that the leaders of them have published, and you will find within them justifications taking quoting people from the Quran and a way of the Salaf, etc.
Cool. I agree to an extent, because I mean there's a lot of groups out there they have this way of trying to utilize certain evidences in their way, and that happens all over the world in all sorts of contexts. But I'm just saying on a general level, if we can establish complete refutations from scholars of the times of the Salaf against some of the arguments that these people are bringing, then their cherry picking is not going to stand up. And that's my point here, that I have no doubt, and I don't disagree with you, I'm not a heretic, that these groups are going to be bringing and citing certain verses, maybe even quotes from the Salaf, etc., which back their agenda. I'm not disagreeing that. However, I'm not talking from a cherry picking standpoint. I'm talking from a holistic standpoint, that these arguments can be refuted.
Peace, family. Peace. Hello. Family, like I've got to close the show. Like it's literally 1:15 in the morning. Yeah. Been doing live shows literally from like 6 p.m. Like, and it's just been like non-stop, live show after live show after live show. We're gonna have to give it a little break for now. But I would love to continue this like on another show, right? And I'm so grateful for you guys who've jumped on. So grateful for you guys who have already hit the like button. Those of you guys who haven't hit the like button will be hitting the like button. Salute to you guys. Those of you guys, your first time coming over here on Titans TV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can come back here whenever we're doing live shows yet again. We've got Modine up in the building. Like, that's the absolute ledge right there. Yeah, Modine is in the building. Show him some love, show him some support. We've also got, our Saber. Yeah, I call him humbly and beautifully, call him Doctor. Dr. Reggie, right? But he's humble, he likes being called Brother Reggie or Saber Reggie. That's my teacher right there, right? So if you want to know where you can get some solid information from, right, that's Brother Reggie. You want to know if you want to get some other solid information from Kemet and other philosophies and just general world wisdom itself, yeah, you go to our Saber Rich Kid. Yeah, these are the people that I'm always going to be showing love to and promoting all the time when it comes to Kemet and other information, like real practical information. These are the brothers right there. All right. But yeah, salute to everybody on the panel so far. We have Buddha in the building. We had Christian Malik in the building. James from Speakers Corner up in the building. Kelly Yarm, M Stacks. Already talked about Rich Kid Rose, Omar as well. We've literally represented a whole deal of ideologies and kind of delved into certain things as well. But right now we're just gonna, close up the show. And I'm thankful for all of you guys who've supported us, whether it's financially. Salute to you guys. Salute to you guys who have supported us.
Say something.
Yeah. Let me just round up. Salute to you guys for hitting up the like button, like supporting us. We appreciate that. Salute to you guys who have been interactive with us inside of the comment section. Like, these shows wouldn't be shows if it wasn't for you guys reading back these comments on the live streams as well. So love you guys, man. Salute. Rich Kid, talk to us.
Offline.
I was just going to say, don't be disingenuous. You missed your name out of it. You bring some of the best information, and I learned a lot from you, and I'm sure a lot of people have learned a lot from you.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. My brothers are hyping me still, so love for that. Trust me, I appreciate you.
Kalam, big up yourself. I missed the whole show.
God, don't worry, you're gonna catch up with it. You're gonna catch up. I know you're gonna do the repeat, rewind. Like, I know you're in the bed. The missus must probably be like, "What are you doing? Go back to bed."
I'm not gonna lie, I'm in trouble.
I always love Ultra Funky, man. Always there supporting, man. Salute to you guys. All right, let me close on the show so we can continue off air. All right, peace and love, family. Catch you guys on the other side. And as always, man, take care of yourselves and each other. Oh, man.